This is a special edition of Call Your Attorney because we're not talking legal matters today. We are talking about ways that we can continue to uplift the community and also support athletics in a real way. So first off, Brian, how have you been, brother?
You know, I'm trying to live the dream every day. It's a work in progress.
What is the dream happening right now before we go to our guest that we got today?
So the dream is, as Phil would say, a stress-free life.
I don't know if that's possible. I'd be stressed out. You know what I'm saying? But one thing that really gives me enjoyment is athletics. You know, I got a daughter who runs track, who's trying basketball at 11, somewhat athletic. You know, her mom played college basketball. I've got a little college athlete background as well. And we've got a coach today. So, Brian, I'm going to let you introduce our guest that we got today as well.
Absolutely. So back in 2022, 2023, I was introduced to Coach Chelsey. Really just a passionate coach. And the biggest thing that stands out is she runs one of the only female coaching team. And this year, they're actually picked up with De'Aaron Fox and the Under Armour circuit. But really, we've sponsored the team back in 2023, and we're sponsoring this year again. And I just wanted to one, say, you're always an inspiration to me. And then two, just to really kind of find out more about where the program's going and also women's basketball as some of these girls have grown up. You know, a lot of them are already starting to get offers for basketball from the other teams.
Mm-hmm.
And so this Coach Chelsey.
Coach Chelsey, please, right in that camera, introduce yourself to everybody.
Hey, everyone. My name is Coach Chelsey, real name Chelsey Rozier. I'm from Tallahassee, Florida. Moved here in 2014. I went to Prairie View A&M. Shout out to PV. I graduated in 2016, and I developed my own program through COVID.
Okay.
There was a group of kids that I was training. There's a gym facility right off of Chimney Rock. It's called a Thunder facility.
I know exactly what you're talking about, yeah.
So I had a couple of kids that I was training one day, and I was training with this guy, and right in the middle of COVID, he got a real estate opportunity and was kind of like, hey, I'm out, they're yours. And I think in 2020, I was like 25 years old, 24, 25. And I kind of was like, okay, let me figure it out. So I started with one team, got all of those kids to college. They're in college right now. And then I grew to 3 teams. And then once we grew to 3 teams, that's when I met Brian. And he was always just like, hey, you know, I love your passion. I'm very passionate, you know, with my kids. I love the game of basketball. I love to see, you know, really just women grow within sports. So for me, you know, I had to get like-minded women with me. So I got a couple of my teammates that played at Prairie View. I picked up a couple of other women coaches just, you know, through in passing. I worked at John Lucas Top 160 camp, so I met a coach through there. One of my best friends from Florida actually flew out here to Texas and was like, I'll run the 8th grade team. That was a team that Brian was a part of. And we've just kind of just grown and flourished. Last year, we had a really, really, really good summer. We have one of the top sophomore classes here in Texas. So then, you know, that's when I got the call like, hey, you know, we would love a Houston director. You know, we would love for it to be a woman. You know, I'm really impactful here in the basketball community here in Houston. So ever since, you know, we've gotten this deal, we've been able to get just, you know, a plethora of kids in the gym. It's definitely brought a more seriousness, you know, to the program, which I really like. And that was the direction, you know, that I've always been headed in. So this year, you know, I'm excited to see, you know, what we can do on the Under Armour circuit. It is the actual shoe circuit. So, you know, it's just going to entail, you know, shot clock, you know, different dynamics, all that kind of thing where, like, you know, whenever you're playing an independent, it's kind of like, you know, hey, I got 1 or 2 dogs. You know,
of course, you could almost feel the team a different way there.
Fact, but it's like on this Under Armour circuit, you better have 9 or 10 dogs, and you better be shooting at a high rate. You better be able to, you know, read defenses, have good body language, be a good teammate, have high academics, like all of that stuff. So that's really where, you know, that's really where I try to entail everything into the program. So.
Nah, that's phenomenal. And of course, Brian has always supported athletics. Brian supports us here as well. You know, I can imagine, you know, seeing the passion that you have, it translates in, I want to support also. So I need to figure out a way that I can be involved. But let's get to know you a little bit. Okay. Tallahassee, Florida. I lived in Jacksonville for a while.
Okay.
So very, very familiar with the area. Have spent a lot of time near Florida State.
Yeah.
You know, went out there quite a bit. I'm assuming athletics came natural for you, or was this something that you had to grow into?
It's actually funny, man. I've never actually gotten a chance to like formally tell this story, but my dad, he played in college. So he actually stopped playing in college to raise me, you know, with my mom and
so young parents.
Young parents.
Okay.
I'm the oldest of 4. All of us played Division I.
That's what's up. Okay.
And then now I have a brother who is a starting point guard for Michigan. He's looking to make a really, really good run this year.
What's his name?
Trey Donaldson.
Oh, okay, that's what's
that's
up.
my
Yeah,
brother.
okay, man, that's crazy.
That's my brother.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
They actually just beat Ohio State. Yep.
Yeah.
So that's what I was doing before I came here, watching him locked in. So I think, you know, just like my dad, he definitely set the bar for me, you know, just as far as like athletically. And then my mom, she did not slack on just like my academics and, you know, just a little bit about her.
Yeah.
She's one of the most successful entrepreneurs in the state of Florida. She's a CPA. She owns a cannabis license. She owns a couple of clubs, a lot of real estate.
Okay.
So that's where I've kind of like ventured out here, and I've just kind of, you know, wanted to be a boss of my own, you know, just kind of like in my own lane. So I take a lot from her. I take a lot from Pops.
So athletics from father, entrepreneurship from mother.
Yeah.
So you kind of got a best of both worlds. So you wasn't gonna go work for nobody.
No.
That's what it sounded like. So, so let's maybe get into a few things post that. Your high school career, how did that go? Like,
oh man, I had a really, really, really good high school career. I had one of the highest. Well, I had the school record for points. It was just recently broken by one of my little homies, Tony Morgan. She's a starting point guard at Georgia Tech right now. But I went to Florida High. That's one of like the higher end athletic schools in Tallahassee. So I definitely went there, you know, just with the goal in mind. I wanted to be a part of a good program. I won a state championship in the 7th grade.
Congratulations.
I started on varsity since the 8th grade. And I think like for me, in this AAU space, like I think it's great for me to be a coach and really help navigate these kids through this, because yet, you know, I finished D1, but before I graduated, May of my senior year, I didn't know where I was going until the April before I graduated.
Yeah, we just did an interview with a, you know, several-time Pro Bowler in the NFL, Super Bowl champion. And the one thing he talked about, very similar to what you were just alluding to, there was an identity crisis after he got done.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, he didn't know exactly where he was going to go, what he was going to do. You know, coming from high school to college, I mean, going from Tallahassee to PV. Yeah. Tell us about, now Texas and Florida are somewhat similar, but a little different. There had to be some culture shock.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I grew up around Florida State, FAMU, so I was always back and forth. And I took my visit to Prairie View, and I mean, literally, like as soon as I landed and I looked out the window and I saw downtown, I called my mom. I was like, yeah, I'm moving here whenever I get old. Like, I was like, Houston, like food, just all different types of avenues. And actually, my senior year of college, I tore my ACL. Okay. So when I tore my ACL, you know, just prolific basketball player, never been hurt. I had a few struggles in college. I found my way, you know, off the team, on the team, back starting on the team. Then I tore my ACL. So I was like devastated. I was like, man, screw basketball. I don't want nothing to do with it. My dad was like, no, let's try to go pro. I was like, no, you mean to tell me I've been playing ball for 20 years and I tear my ACL my second run of conference? Like, absolutely not. So when I moved to Houston after I graduated, I was an accountant and that was it. Okay. Like I was like, no, I'm not doing nothing with basketball. I want to be an accountant. And I want to party. Yeah. Like I want to see, you know, what the nightlife is.
And you can party in Houston.
You can party in Houston.
You can party in Houston.
And then I found myself just like not just being fulfilled until one day I walked in the gym and I was just like, dang, like I gotta, get to this and get this feeling every day. So
Got you. So Brian, I'm gonna loop you in a little bit. So how did you get connected here, and what did that process look like where you saw, hey, there's some passion in here that I think I need to be involved in, because we do know that you support the arts and sports, et cetera. How did you come about that?
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing for me was really one of the most underrepresented opportunities is really women's sports, and it really is something where, with men's football or high school football,
all men's sports,
there's never a problem with being able to get sponsorship, but when it comes to girls basketball or any sports, there's really this opportunity where the pivotal year, and why we've always kind of sponsored the 8th grade, is as they're going into the high school, that's really the pivotal part. And just had an opportunity to meet Coach Chelsey, and she was talking about like the team that she's running, and she's talking about the program she has. And so it's actually the first opportunity that Crockett Law actually had a chance to sponsor women's sports, and couldn't be happier. She's definitely come through with everything that we were hoping to do for the 8th grade team. And I mean, really, a lot of them are some of the top players and rated in the state right now.
So why was leaning fully into women's sports? Because basketball, if we're being honest, is a male-dominated industry. Correct. I mean, here more recently we have Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark and Juju Watkins and Asia Wilson, and we have some players who are more recognizable. I'm a little older than y'all, so mine was Cheryl Swoops and Rebecca Lobo and the front end of Diana Taurasi, etc. But what made you say, I gotta pour back into the sport that I love, but focus solely on the women?
I think, like, for me, I see so many women get lost in this space, and I see so many kids give up. Like, so many kids, especially, like, I started, and like, this is where, like, I'm super thankful for Brian, because I started a lot in the hood.
Yeah,
kids.
No doubt.
Like, I had to get some kids, from Third Ward, from Sunnyside, that just didn't have a clue. We have a kid. She's one of the more prolific players, of our program. And we found her, in the hood.
Talented. Didn't even.
Talented. And she is going to, she's just, and I've always wanted to like find that one kid that's like, okay, you can be the example for these other kids, that way that they can see like it can be done. So, definitely shout out to Crockett Law. We were, Crockett Law down, backpacks, jerseys. I mean, and just proudly, like, just moving as one. He's been able to make relations within, our program, is, with our parents and stuff like that. So I definitely have, just try to be able to create like a family-like environment. And it's usually always that way, like, especially like whenever we're in the gym, the vibes are phenomenal.
So Sniper the Fox, you on now on the Spurs.
Yes.
Him and Wemby, we're expecting for the next decade to be a duo. The West is crazy as it is anyway, because in let's say a decade prior, that would have been the best team in the West.
Oh yeah.
But now you got Luka and LeBron. You still got Golden State, got Jimmy Butler now. You still got to deal with not only Sacramento with Levine and DeRozan. Just the West is tough. Memphis with their team. So
and the Rockets.
Now the problem with the Rockets though, they so young. They so young.
If they get a closer, like a true closer,
they should have got Jimmy.
They should have
got Jimmy.
I thought they was gonna get Jimmy. I thought they was gonna get Jimmy or De'Aaron.
It should have been Jimmy.
It should have been Jimmy.
They don't need another point guard. They need a kind of a small forward who can close them out.
But Jimmy is a closer.
Jimmy is a closer. But Fox is as well. So how did that connection come about? And what do you think the next steps are for you to take his team on the women's side to the next level?
Well, I mean, he already has started, like their coaching base that they originated with up in Dallas. They have phenomenal, networking. So like for me, I've always been looking to, grow, and I've needed to get around people that can help me grow. So this is, you know, just been a really special opportunity. They've been able to, you know, just walk hand in hand with some of the recruits that are on the higher level teams. And one of the kids on that team, she's ranked number 7 in the country.
Wow. Okay.
She just finished she just got offers from South Carolina, Stanford, Notre Dame.
Wait, the South Carolina?
The South Carolina, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So she's tough, and like for me, I wanted to be able to just bring my kids around that environment, you know, and get them to be able to just, you know, be in the gym with her, you know, be in the gym with, you know, those type of coaches. That way that we all can kind of adjust and realize, you know, just what it takes to be at the next level. Because I'm not like the type of coach that is gonna come into, you know, this space like I got it all figured out, because I don't. You know, like I'm steady growing, I'm steady learning, you know, and it's never for me. Like it's for these girls so they can be, you know, better than me. And I feel like through college and just, you know, through my journey, I've been able to learn through myself and through other people's journeys. So like each time I just try to get sharper and sharper.
Definitely. So Brian, from your perspective then, why is this important to Crockett Law? And let's pull that mic up just slightly. Like you already mentioned the you know, impact on women's sports, but you know, you don't find a lot of Coach Chelseys in the world who are willing to sacrifice herself for the youth. Like, what do you think about youth sports in general? Why is it important for Crockett Law to be involved in youth sports?
I mean, I think we all have life experiences where it gives us direction. For me, growing up, sports was definitely something that drove me, and it also, you know, continues to give you focus. It helps you keep the direction of, are you on the right path, as Chelsea's kind of talked about. And especially in Houston, you've got all of these opportunities to kind of be distracted by anything and everything else. And for Coach Chelsey, I mean, one of the things that kind of blew me away is when it comes to practices, when it comes to going to the games. I mean, you're talking about somebody who actually is driving and picking up these girls and making sure that they're actually there, because
it's a thankless job.
There's a lot of times where, you know, the parents, you know, are working 1 or 2 jobs. They don't have the opportunity to be able to, you know, really give those kids the opportunities to accomplish what their dreams may be. And so, you know, for me, it's kind of the inspiration of seeing Coach Chelsey believing in, like, wow, this is somebody who isn't doing it for anybody else. This isn't where, you know, you've got all of these like top tier people that have unlimited financials, you know, but she's really making talented athletes who, the reality is they're getting an opportunity to grow into something that without her and without the coaching support she has, they would never actually have that opportunity. And really for me, kind of the big inspiration is not only does the program push the athletic piece, but, you know, they're really hitting hard on the education piece, and you need to focus on your studies. You know, it's an all around, you know, person versus just, how's your basketball game? And that's something that I think, especially with teenage girls.
Yeah.
You know,
I got a preteen, so I already know. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I already know. Like it's,
right?
And, you know, I'm a, you know, former athlete. My wife is a former athlete. She played college basketball. And my daughter is 11 and going on 5'2", you know, already, you know, so when we went to her middle school, like orientation, the coaches were already
on her.
Like, hey, but she prefers to run for whatever reason. She does not want to hoop. Like, I don't understand it. My wife hooped. I think it's because of that.
Yeah.
I think it's because my wife played college basketball. She is kind of rebelling against it. But all the coaches were like, hey, who is that?
Yeah.
11-year-old.
Like, if she just ever
like what does she want to do? So for you, how do you source talent? And then what's your goals, you know, for the next 2 to 3 years for the team?
Well, I definitely source talent. I'm a natural evaluator.
Okay.
Like, I evaluate from the moment I walk in the gym. Like, I could be having a full conversation with you, and like when I evaluate, I look at mechanics. So I look at how the ball's coming off.
You doing fundamentals there?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I'm looking at, you know, how comfortable someone is handling the ball. And to me, like, especially with younger talent, like if they have like good twitch muscles, I can be, because like for me, I know like the younger I can get them, the better that they're going to be. That's why like my sophomores now, I've had them since they've been 6th or 7th grade.
Oh wow. Okay. So
that's
you
why they
built the
some
program
dogs.
up. Yeah. Okay.
So I'm definitely always looking for younger talent. That's a lot of the reason why I'm opening up my gym. It's for the grassroots, kids, the 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11-year-old kids that have, dreams and aspirations. Because like for me, especially like my kids that play with me, I always tell them like, you better meet my passion.
Wait, you hoop with them too?
Oh, I hoops with them.
Oh, come on now. Hold on. Now, has one of your players given you buckets?
Yeah, I've had a couple of kids give me some buckets. I actually had one of my 8th graders, but she's like 6'2".
Oh yeah, okay, so that's different.
She's like
that's different.
6'2".
Yeah.
She's nice though, but
okay.
I definitely try to get my kids to like embody my personality.
Gotcha.
As far as like just being a dog, like, and I show them that I'm a dog in every aspect, in life, when I'm coaching, when I'm mentoring, when I'm, whatever business it is. So that way, whenever they go on the court, they know and understand like it's me versus them.
Next 5 years for you and the team.
I would definitely say just continuing growing. Like I want to be able to build my program into like a one-stop shop.
Okay.
Like where, like, say for instance, like your daughter,
yeah.
if your daughter decides to play basketball, and this is my recruiting tip, by the way, if she decides to play basketball within like the next 2 to 3 years, whenever we get her, I want to be able to keep her until she leaves.
Gotcha.
That's them just knowing like I'm going to get the mentor. Like I always tell parents, like, you're going to get a better player, a better daughter, a better student athlete, a better sister, a better, like, everything.
And I'm around the corner from you, so that might be an option. You know what I'm saying? Like I literally around the corner from you. So, okay, so Brian, from your perspective, what are you thinking? Like women's sports, what do you want to see and why you're supporting it over the next 5 years yourself?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I got 2 daughters as well.
Yeah, that's a fact. So, yes, we are girl dads. Yeah.
I every time you think about, hey, you always want your kid to have the same opportunities or even more opportunities than what you had. And I think just women's sports is obviously underrepresented until you kind of see this Caitlin Clark, and you see, Angel Reese and all these other players where they've kind of elevated and it's become more exciting to watch. And I think it really hasn't changed in the sense of being exciting to watch. It's really just been the focus has gone back.
Yeah.
So, for me, I think it is exciting where you start seeing the attention being where it should naturally be. And hopefully that's going to follow with, the salaries and everything else matching it. But I think the biggest piece is really seeing these teenage girls with somebody who's putting so much focus on their opportunities to really just develop, because not everyone's going to make it.
Correct.
But at the end of the day, I can say everyone who's been through Coach Chelsey's program is a better person, a better player.
Making good humans.
Exactly.
Yeah, making good humans. Okay, so Coach Chelsey, right in this camera here, tell the people where they can find you. If there's there's going to be parents out there who see this that may be interested. Tell them where they can find you and then how they can get involved with the program.
So you can follow us on Instagram at @TSF__AAU. It'll pop up as IFN Hugh for the Houston hub. And you'll be able to find me. The gym will be hopefully grand opening this summer. I would like to do a soft launch during spring break just to see the type of traffic that we could be able to bring in. The gym will be called the Pitt Center, Players in Training. So that'll be coming soon. And yeah, that's Coach Chelsey.
All right. And this has been, not the traditional call your attorney. We typically have Brian on to talk about accidents and injuries and things like that. But today, we uplifting sports. And we ain't going to say women's sports. We just going to say sports in general. And I want y'all, if you can, Poor Horsemen, we encourage you to go out, support Coach Chelsey, support the program. We encourage you all to find her information. Say the Instagram one more time for us.
@TSF__AAU. And shout out to Crockett Law.
All right. Shout out to Crockett Law. This is Poor Horsemen. Let's call your attorney. We out.